Ava had always felt a little different growing up, but never in a way she could explain. Her childhood was full of happy memories, summer trips, bedtime stories, and two loving parents who did everything to protect her. From the outside, her life looked perfect. But on her 18th birthday, everything changed. While looking for her birth certificate for a college application, she stumbled across a locked drawer in her mother's study. What she found inside shattered everything she thought she knew about herself. There, buried under old medical papers and faded photographs, was a file with her name on it. But the name wasn't Ava. The documents were labeled with a different identity and marked with notes from a clinic she had never heard of. Confused and shaking, she brought the papers to her parents, hoping for a simple explanation. But instead of answers, they fell into a stunned silence. Her mother's eyes welled up with tears. Her father couldn't speak. That's when Ava knew there was a secret they had buried for years as the truth started to surface. Ava learned that her life had been shaped by decisions made long before she could speak. Her identity, her memories, even her medical history, none of it was what she believed. What her parents had hidden from her wasn't just personal. It was life-altering. And the deeper she looked, the more she realized this secret wasn't just about her. It was about why they had kept it hidden for so long, and what they were still afraid of. Ava sat on the edge of her bed, the documents spread out in front of her. Her heart pounded with every page she turned. Medical terms she didn't fully understand, records from a clinic in another state, and a name, Evan, written in the corner of her birth certificate. She tried to breathe, but her thoughts were racing. Why would her parents hide something this big? And who was Evan? When she finally confronted them again, her mother broke down. Her father remained quiet, hands clenched. Her mom explained that when Ava was born, there were complications, something they believed the world wouldn't understand. They made a choice to raise her the way they thought would give her the best chance at a normal life. But Ava didn't feel like she had lived a lie. She felt like a piece of her had been stolen. Growing up, Ava had always felt slightly out of place, like she was playing a role without knowing the script. Little things made sense now. The hush during doctor's visits, the way her parents would dodge questions about her early years, even the gap in her baby photos from before age 3. And that strange moment in middle school when a nurse looked puzzled during a routine checkup. Ava had brushed it off. But it was all connected. Her parents said they meant well, that it was for her protection. But Ava couldn't shake the feeling that the truth had been buried, not just out of love, but out of fear. Fear of what, though? She still didn't know. That night, Ava couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, memories came rushing back. Things that once seemed normal now felt different. Her mind kept circling around that name, Evan. Was that really her? Or just a version of herself she was never allowed to know? The more she thought about it, the more she wondered if her whole identity had been built on a decision she never got to make. The next day, Ava visited her childhood pediatrician, hoping to get answers from someone outside her family. But when she mentioned her name and birthday, the receptionist hesitated. "You're not in our system," she said, confused. Ava felt a chill run through her. That's when the receptionist glanced at an old record and muttered, "We do have someone named Evan registered with that date, ... But before she could finish, the office manager stepped in and quickly ended the conversation. Back at home, Ava noticed her parents were watching her closely, too closely. Every question she asked was met with vague answers or gentle deflection. Her mom started cooking her favorite meals, as if trying to distract her. Her dad suddenly offered to take her on a trip. It all felt off. Then she found a storage box in the attic with her old clothes and toys. But mixed in were things she didn't recognize. Boys' clothing, old sports gear, and a tiny baseball glove with the name Evan stitched on it. Someone had gone to great lengths to erase that part of her life. But why? Ava sat on the attic floor, surrounded by dusty boxes and forgotten pieces of a life that didn't feel like hers. Her fingers traced the stitching on the glove, Evan. It wasn't just a name. On paper, it had history. She found old birthday cards addressed to Evan, notes from someone named Aunt Claire, and even a photo of a toddler in a hospital crib with a faded wristband. The name on the band wasn't Ava. Her hands trembled as she tucked the photo into her jacket. Downstairs, her parents were calling for dinner, their voices too cheerful. Ava stayed quiet. She needed time to think. Alone, that night, she snuck out and went to the address listed on one of the old clinic letters. It was an hour away, in a small town she barely remembered. The building was now a private office, but an older woman watering plants nearby recognized the name on the envelope. Oh, that place shut down years ago. Some kind of medical controversy. Lots of records sealed. She paused, squinting. You know, you look a bit like Dr. Ramirez. He used to run it. Always kept to himself after. Well, after what happened? What happened? Ava asked. But the woman only shook her head. Back in her car, Ava pulled up old news archives. One article popped up. Local clinic under fire for gender identity experiments on minors. The date matched her second birthday. Suddenly, Ava realized this went far beyond her parents. Ava stared at the article, her breath catching. The headline didn't just shock her, made her feel sick. The clinic wasn't just closed because of controversy. It had been investigated for carrying out unauthorized medical procedures on children, particularly those involving gender identity reassignment. Without proper oversight, names in the article were redacted, but one stuck out in a court document linked in the footnotes. E. Ramirez. Dr. Ramirez, the same last name as Av's mother's maiden name. Her fingers hovered over her phone. She had never heard of any Ramirez in the family. Why had that been kept secret? She called her grandmother on her father's side, trying to keep her voice steady. Did Mom ever work in medicine, or know a Dr. Ramirez? There was a pause on the other end. Then her grandmother whispered, "Honey, your mom was adopted." She never talked about her biological family. Suddenly, things clicked into place. Ava's mother wasn't just protecting a child. She had been part of something deeper, maybe even raised in it. Dr. Ramirez was her biological father. That meant Ava had been tied to this clinic from birth, perhaps targeted because of it. When she returned home, Ava noticed something strange. The storage boxes in the attic were gone. Her laptop's browser history had been cleared, and her mother was waiting for her in the kitchen, holding one of the old photos Ava had taken earlier. "We need to talk," her mom said, voice quiet. But not here. Ava's blood ran cold. Ava followed her mother into the car, heart pounding. Neither of them spoke as they drove for over an hour, deep into a wooded area where the trees seemed to swallow the road. Finally, they stopped at a small cottage by a lake. Her mother turned off the engine and sat in silence for a moment before speaking. "You were born, Evan, yes, but not because we chose it. You were part of a study, something my father Dr. Ramirez started before I ever had a say." Her voice cracked. "He believed he could erase identity, reshape it. When I got pregnant, he insisted on including you. He said it was scientific progress. I was scared and stupid and just wanted to keep you safe." Ava felt everything tighten inside her. So all of it was real. The clinic, the records, the photos, a toe. You went along with it. Her mother nodded slowly, till I couldn't anymore. I took you and disappeared. Changed your name. Raised you far away from his reach. But I never told you the truth because I thought maybe it would die with him. Ava stared at her, but it didn't. Because someone cleared my laptop. Someone's still watching. Her mother turned pale. That wasn't me. Sudden vibration buzzed from Ava's phone, unknown number. One message. Asterisk, asterisk, you've gone too far. Stop digging. Asterisk, asterisk. Ava looked at her mom, fear rising. Is he still alive? Her mother didn't answer. Instead, she whispered, we're not the only ones he experimented on. The message changed everything. Ava knew then this wasn't just about the past. It was about stopping the truth from surfacing. Her mother finally admitted that after they ran, she'd received threats before, but she thought they had faded with time. Clearly, they hadn't. That night at the lake house, Ava made a choice. She copied every document she'd found, every file, every photo, backing it up in secure drives and sending it to a trusted journalist who had once investigated the clinic. It wasn't about revenge, it was about truth. In the weeks that followed, Ava's story gained attention. News outlets cautiously covered the resurfaced case involving Dr. Ramirez and the long-closed clinic. Whistleblowers began to speak, and other families once silent trudged out, each with their own fragments of the same nightmare. Ava wasn't alone anymore. Her relationship with her parents didn't heal overnight. But there was finally honesty between them. Her mother began attending counseling and spoke openly about the trauma she endured under her father's influence. As for Ava, she stopped chasing who she was supposed to be and started owning who she truly was on her own terms.